They say every ghost story leaves a piece of itself behind. Last time we met around this fire, we spoke of Elias, the ferryman of the rivers of America. He wasn't a villain or a trickster, just a quiet man who rowed workers across this very river while Disneyland was still being built, until the night the storm came and his boat drifted back empty. His lantern, though, it kept burning. Some say it still does. And the last time, we ended with Daniel, a brave, stubborn camper who saw the light for himself, a light that rushed toward him through the fog. Tonight, we finish this story. The glow came across fast, too fast, like a comet made of gold and smoke. Daniel stumbled backwards, throwing up his arms to block it. The light grew until the whole island shimmered like a fire seen through mist. Then it stopped. The lantern hung in midair. No hand, no rope, no shadow. Just a floating flame suspended in the fog. And out of that glow, a figure began to take shape. Long coats, worn boots, eyes that caught the lantern light and held it like glass. Elias. The ferryman looked not angry, but weary, as though he had been rowing through eternity. Daniel couldn't breathe, and then Elias spoke, his voice like the wind before a storm, soft but heavy with warning. Stay away from the river when the storm comes. Again, stay away from the river when the storm comes. The words hung in the mist long after he vanished. Only the echo of the river replied. Earlier that very evening, before the fire had died down, the counselor had laughed at the story. Ghost ferryman, yeah. They just told old Disney folklore, something that made us up two scare rookies on their night shift. The kids giggled, but Daniel had seen something in the counselor's eye, a flicker of doubt. He was too proud to admit it. And now, as thunder rumbled far off, Daniel remembered that laugh, and it didn't sound brave anymore. The first raindrops fell like whispers. Then the sky split open. Wind screamed through the cottonwoods, tearing branches loose. Fire hissed and died. The counselor's flashlight beam cut through the chaos as tents buckled and ropes snapped. Up! Everyone, up! We have to get back across the river before it floods. Daniel grabbed his arm. No, you can't. Elias said, enough, Daniel. There's no ghost, no ferryman, no curse. Lightning flared, painting the river in silver and gold for just a second, and Daniel swore he saw it again, the lantern's reflection drifting across the current. The counselor yanked free, dragging a canoe through the mud, water sloshing over his boots. Daniel ran after him. Please, he warned us, the river's not safe. The counselor paused only long enough to say, I'm responsible for you kids. Stay here. He shoved the canoe off, muscles straining against the current. The camper stood in silence, watching the tiny beam of his flashlight grow smaller, swallowed by rain and the fog. And then, far behind him, another light appeared, a golden one, faint, steady, following him down the river. Elias. The storm howled for hours. The children huddled beneath the trees, clutching blankets and one another. The air smelled of wet earth and fear. Daniel whispered the same words again and again. Stay away from the river. Stay away from the river. Sometimes the others whispered it with him, like a prayer. Between thunderclaps, they heard other sounds, soft creaks, like oars dipping in water. Somewhere out there beyond the fog. And through it all, the lantern's glow moved slowly along the bank, pacing them. Never too close, never gone, and just there, a quiet guardian in the storm. Hours passed that way. One by one, the campers fell asleep, their breathing sinking with the rhythm of the rain. Only Daniel stayed awake, eyes fixed on that golden light. And though he never admitted it later, he thought he saw another shape rowing beside it, a faint silhouette pushing against the curtain. When dawn came, the storm was over. The island looked like another world, soaked earth, shattered branches, mist curling low across the ground. The river, calm again, glinted with the morning sun. Daniel was the first to stand. His voice cracked. He's gone. But now, all was lost. Within an hour, rescues rowed sturdy rafts through the fog. Disney cast members in slick raincoats, faces shocked to find the kids alive. "You survived the night? Out here? Alone?" one of them asked the counselor, though he wasn't with them. The rescuers found his canoe capsized against the reeds on the far bank. Empty. No footprints, only the echo of water lapping against the hull. After that night, the story changed. Cast members whispered about it during late shifts, how the ferryman's lantern had seen again, always before storms. One raft operator claimed the glow appeared just before lightning struck a tree near the dock. A Haunted Mansion crew member said he saw it reflected in the bayou water right before a power outage. And old-timers, the ones who had been there the longest, would say only this: if you see a light on the river after midnight, don't mock it, don't chase it, just nod and keep your distance. The storyteller's voice grows soft. So now you know, Elias isn't a ghost to fear. He's a warning, a guide for those who listen. Campers around the fire leaned closer, their faces flickering orange. Some smiled nervously, others stared into the trees. And just as the storyteller lowered his voice, he adds, "Of course, they say Daniel never came back to camp after that summer. He moved away, never spoke of that night again. But every few years, a new counselor tells a story, and each one swears they've seen boys' footprints by the riverbank after the fog rolls in." So if you're ever near the rivers of America after dark, you see a lantern glowing where no one should be, don't run, don't call for help, just listen. Because sometimes the ferryman still whispers, "Stay away from the river when the storm comes."